Hi, Rabbi Alexander. I'm with Jedi Teshuvah Master Rabbi Cheryl Peretz. It's Elul. Rosh Hashanah is coming, and a lot of people are demanding that we do Teshuvah, and that we look deep and search out the deepest parts of our soul. And I'm actually curious if you think this is probably the best way for us to do the work that needs to be done in the next, 15, 16 days.
Yeah, one of the things I struggle with about Teshuvah is we spend and invest so much time in the heart pounding and the beating up of ourselves, and of saying we should find the most negative parts of us and undo them or recreate them or change them. And I think that's important. That's part of growth. That's part of how we can become different people. But I think at the essence, before you can do that, you have to be able to tap into your own gifts, your own positive attributes, your own uniqueness. And it seems to me that this was the intention that God had for each of us.
So what you're saying is, if I leave synagogue on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and I like myself more, that's what's supposed to happen?
I think that's the beginning of the process.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe so. I mean, even with my faults, I think the goal is to like yourself more, to feel a sense of completion by being able to accept the fullness of who you are and of what your opportunities and limitations might be. But if all you focus is on the limitations, I think that that becomes a cycle of negativity and a cycle of self-deprecation, and that just becomes a psychological problem.
Yeah, well, I hear the word Yom Kippur and automatically my fist goes to my chest.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to smack myself.
Exactly.
All right, so is there Torah? What's the Torah? If I'm supposed to get to who I am,
Yeah.
What's the Torah that I take with me into the high holidays that helps me recognize that I actually have something that's there and can get there?
Yeah, so I think that there's two things that I really point to. The first is a Mishnah that tells us that when we save a soul, we save an entire life. And when we destroy a soul, we destroy an entire soul. And that each of our souls are like an entire world. So if we take into account that our soul has the infinite worth of an entire world, and that makes us worthy in God's eyes, so much so that to destroy myself or to destroy another person is taking an entire world away from God and away from the universe, and that's detrimental. And so the worth of our soul comes from the fact that we have reverberations of what we bring into the world that hopefully helps us tap into the gifts that are ours, the uniqueness that is ours, and the things that the world has because we're in it, that the world wouldn't otherwise have. And the second thing that I point to for the Torah for myself for this is in Breshit, when it talks about God breathing life into the soul of the human being. And that there's a moment in which that breath is the same and different for every single person. That when God breathes into you, you then become an independent beating heart that has the ability to live and function in ways that no other beating heart can live or function. And that ultimately is what our uniqueness is and how we bring it into the world.
So how do I find that in my? So now it's Rosh Hashanah, and the rabbis starting to talk about the fact that we've all come up short, and I need to be able to channel that. How do I actually get to that place where I can appreciate my own breath, appreciate the value of my own soul as being unique?
Yeah. So some people would say to meditate. I'm not a meditator. I wish I was sometimes, though the exercise machine does help with that for me. But I think that it's taking a moment to actually just acknowledge yourself. And so for me, it's taking a deep breath and saying, who am I in this moment in the world? What are my unique gifts? How is the world a different and better place because I'm in it? And what have I done in this last month, this last year, this last lifetime that I alone have done that no one else brings into the world, but that is uniquely mine. And I think when we can start with those questions and feel the positivity and the confidence and the worthiness of that and the breath that God breathed into our soul in that way, then I believe we're ready to do the real work of saying, now what do I need to change?
Right, which is a totally transformative way of looking at Teshuvah. Wherein in the past, we would all just get to shul and just start with the process of sorry, and now we get to shul, and before we say I am sorry, we just say I am, and then who we are. You actually have to do Teshuvah from the place of your truest self, and that means, I don't know, taking some time to figure out who we are.
Yeah, I feel like I spend a lot of time in my life as a rabbi talking to people whose self-confidence needs building, whose egos have been trampled on. And for me, this is a way of saying Teshuvah is a complete process that empowers us to do the work of correcting by knowing that we have confidence and worthiness and abilities that nobody else has.
Amen.
Amen. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.